નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Welcome students to first part of 15th chapter Light of Standard 7 Science. Okay, in this chapter you will come to know some properties of light. You will come to know you will learn about some spherical mirrors and lenses and the dispersion of light. So there are many things to do in this, and there are many activities to do also in this chapter. We are going to do so. So let's start our chapter Light, which is available on the page number 175 in your textbook, 174 page number, and keep a sharpened pencil also with you, so that if required then you can underline the lines. Okay, so let's start the chapter. You might have seen a beam of sunlight when it enters a room through a narrow opening or a hole. Have you ever seen a beam of light when there is darkness in the room sometimes, and then to be that light is coming from a small hole, then we can see a beam of light. Have you ever seen that? Okay. You may have also seen beam of light from the headlamps of scooter, cars and engines of trains. See, when it happens, if you are traveling at night, or if you are on the roadside and the vehicles are going here and there at night, then you might have seen the beam of the light, and that beam of the light from the headlamps of the vehicles. Say it may be scooter, it may be train, it may be bus. So you must have seen that beam also. We can see that it is a beam of the light. We can observe that. Similarly, a beam of light can be seen from a torch. Some of you may have seen a beam of searchlight from a lighthouse or from an airport tower. See, we can see the beam of torch also. But if you can go to the if there is a sea, then at seashore sometimes you can see the searchlight of lighthouse. Have you ever seen the lighthouse at night? Okay, and then also you can see a beam of light, and it is going means too far, so you might have seen that lighthouse also. Okay, then what do these experience suggest? Okay, you have seen that light beam, but whenever you see that, then what these experience suggest? Through that, what do you come to know? Let's try to understand the things. Why? Because now we are going to understand light travels along a straight line. You have seen that beam, and you must have seen that travel of light. But the main thing is that light travels along a straight line. Now, how is it so? Let's try to understand. Buzo recalls an activity he performed in class 6. You must be aware of the activity we performed in the class 6 standard also. That in that activity he looked a lighted candle first through a straight pipe and then through a bent pipe. Why was Buzo not able to see the candle flame through a bent pipe? See, we can see that lighted candle because of the light, the light coming from the candle to our eyes, Okay. Now if we will see that candle, the light of the candle through a straight pipe, then what will happen? It is possible to see. It is possible to see. But if the pipe is bent, then we cannot see the light of the candle through that bent pipe. You can see in the figure 15.2 also. In 15.2a, you can see through straight light, through straight pipe, it is possible to see the candle. But through the bent pipe, it is not possible. Okay. This activity showed that light travels along straight lines. Through this activity, we can say that light travels along a straight line. We can say it is a property of light also. Why? Because it is a property of light that it travels, the light travels through a straight path. How can we change the path of light? Now the second thing. Okay, it travels through straight line, along a straight line. But is it possible to change the path of light? First question. Is it possible to change the path of light? Oh, okay. If it is possible, then how can we change the path of light? Let's try to understand. Do you know what happens when light falls on a polished or shiny surface? If the light falls on the shiny surface, then we feels like that we have to close our eyes. It's why it is glittering. Sometimes you must have observed that, felt that. So you know what happens when light falls on a polished or shiny surface. Okay, let's see. Reflection of light. Let's try to understand the reflection of light, and then we will come to know that what happens when light falls on a polished or shiny surface. So first of all, we should understand the reflection of light. One way to change the direction of light is to let it fall on a shiny surface. So we come to know, how to change the direction of light. Then one way to change the direction of light is to let it fall on the shiny surface. For example, a shining stainless steel plate or a shining steel spoon can change the direction of light. See, be aware of the shiny surfaces. There is what? Shiny stainless steel plate or a shiny stainless steel spoon. That we know. Why? Because we are using at our home. So these two surfaces we know. Now, if we let the light on that shiny surface, then with the help of that shiny surface, we can change the path of the light. The surface of water can also act like a mirror and change the path of light. The surface of water can also act like a mirror and change the path of light. But here, the surface should be calm. Means it should not there should not be any waves or anything. Then it is possible to see the reflection. Have you ever seen the reflection of tree or building in water? So you must have observed that. You can see in the image 15.3, reflection of objects in water. When the water is steady, at that time we can see the reflection of whatever it is nearby to it, we can say. If it is tree, then we can see the tree, reflection of tree, and if it's some far, we can see the reflection of sky also in the water, but the water should be steady. Okay, any polished or a shiny surface can act as a mirror. Any polished or shiny surface can act as a mirror. Now you are very much aware of mirror, every day, in everyday life we are using mirror, but every shining surface also can, and polished surface also can act as a mirror. What happens when light falls on a mirror? What happens when light falls on a mirror? Okay, so do one thing, do this activity at your home today, and then we'll discuss in the next part this thing, that what happens when light falls on a mirror. Okay, before ending this part, let's read that box, that figure 15.4 is there, reflection of the lion in water. Let's discuss that, and then after we'll end this part. See, Pahali remembers the story of the lion on the and the rabbit. Story of the lion and the rabbit from the Panchtantra, in which the rabbit fooled the lion by showing him his reflection in the water. The lion understood that there is another lion is there in the well, and he showed the reflection, and to kill that another lion, that lion fall into that water. You must be aware of that story in Panchtantra, and if you don't know, read the Panchtantra story. Why? Because we are discussing about the reflection of any object in the water. That is why this story is there, and you must have heard that. Okay, with this we are ending this part, and we'll go further. For there is an activities also there. We will discuss activities also in the next part. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Take care of yourselves, and we'll meet you in the next session. Thank you.